So this is the remnant of the Albert Barracks wall, which is on the Auckland University campus. The work that's up at the Auckland Art Gallery on the terrace is all taken from it, like all the forms are taken directly from this particular historic site. Ki te taha o tōku mātua, ko nai tūpoto me Ngāti Here ngā hapu, ko te rarawa te iwi, ko nai tūpoto te marae. Ki te taha o tōku whaia, no uropi o ku tupuna, kia Aotearoa, no waiharakeke rātou. I tipu ake au I reira, ko Ana Iti tōku ingoa. Yeah, so this is the fragment. It's like this entire section, that back section there, and probably to that second bench. The process of making a work like this is, at first I got invited to write a proposal. I had to think about what it was that I would even be interested in. My work is very site specific. Thinking about the context that I was going to put work into was very important to me. So the Auckland Art Gallery is situated right next to Albert Park, which previously to that was Albert Barracks. My project was interested in the barracks, and the barracks wall, which was built in 1846, was commissioned by Governor Grey, and he built it because he was scared of unrest that was happening in the north. So there are notch holes in the wall. This tells us that we're on the outside, so the narrow side would have been where military forces could point their guns at people, so they're wide on the inside and narrow on the outside. There was a sign for the wall at one time which read made by friendly Māoris, and it kept on getting defaced because obviously people didn't like that as a message, so it got taken down. One of the things that was really interesting to me about the wall was that it had been built by Māori labourers. The whole point of this barracks wall was intended to keep Auckland safe from Māori, and I think that was why I was interested in it. People have literally no idea what the context of this is. I guess that is one of the things with our history and our historic sites. That's why I wanted to make a work about it, to kind of honour and think about it in a more critical way than what you might usually do. This is the work takoto. It's actually comprised of two elements. It's the sculptural element, which is on the terrace here beside me, and then there's a textural element that leads you into the space. It's on the bridge that you walk across when you enter. So I did want to take casts off the wall, so like impressions. We kind of figured out that wasn't plausible because it's a bit damaging to the surface. So what we ended up doing instead was getting it 3D scanned, which was quite crazy. Once we had the 3D scan of the wall, I went through and made selections, kind of like a puzzle almost. Yeah, then we basically routed them out. And so the idea, which is enfolded in the name, takoto, is about like for something to be laid down or a tumbling. So the arrangement of the different components on the terrace here as sort of to replicate this moment where something could be caught in free fall maybe. It's kind of supposed to be playful though, and maybe a bit abstract as well. Thinking about a place materially is quite an important way for me to engage with it. Often a lot of the materials that we use to make where we live now, they have a lot of meaning. And the thing that I like about materials like rocks and things like that is that they kind of represent this grand scheme of time. A lot of the time my work kind of thinks about colonisation and things like that, and the stone kind of pre-exists that, and it will continue to exist far into the future, so yeah.